Yeah, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. Tammy Barstow and Daniel Pryor and I are doing Adopt an Angel. We've gotten really involved this year of helping because there's so many kids that are going without normally, but now that's almost tripled just here in Alameda County. So we're doing a fundraiser where you can adopt an angel. It's a $25 gift card. If you want to get the gift card and give it to myself or Daniel can pick it up. And we're turning them in. So it's for all of Alameda County, raising funds to give special kids and kids that are doing without this year an extra $25 gift card for each one of them. Like I said, we're happy to pick them up. I did buy a few $1,000s worth of these, which is cool because it comes with an ornament and then inside is an Amazon gift card for $25.
Oh,
So if easier, you could Venmo me or
okay.
give us a check or whatever, and we'll do it too. And it has the Amazon gift card, plus they can have their own ornament. Again, if you're interested, we just, like I said, it's true and dear to our hearts, and this year especially. So,
So
All right, so Tammy, if you want to just just put your email address in the chat.
I'll put my
or phone
email
or
address in
whoever
there.
we
I
want people
will.
to reach out to.
Okay.
Carolyn,
Yeah, I have.
just a brief comment. Pat Coyle had an announcement he wanted to make, and apparently it didn't get into the agenda. So this would be a good time for that.
Oh, yep. So I apologize, Pat. And if you want to, you have 1 minute, or 90 seconds that you can, if you want to talk about your event tonight.
Carolyn. President Carolyn, first of all, I want to thank Tammy. I think that's just terrific. So either, do you do Zelle or just, do you prefer Venmo, Tammy?
Right now I have Venmo. I'm switching to it. I'm switching and trying to get Zelle, but right now I have Venmo and
no worries.
PayPal.
We'll use that and get it to you. What I just wanted to do, you can see my virtual background behind there. Today is tonight's night of, so at 6 o'clock this evening, we'll open the virtual doors for this fundraiser. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. This is a Rotary and Engineers Without Borders funded water supply project that we're at the heart of with our global grant. We have partnership from the Morning Club as well. Their DDF is in that. In addition, we'll have a lot about the Rotary partnership, but there'll be a lot of stuff about the project itself and on the ground reports from the community. So swing on by. It's going to be a lot of fun. And also, I'll put in the chat the link to register. But also, I'll just also put in the Zoom link. That'll open around 6 o'clock this evening. The auction, the virtual auction's got a lot of good stuff there. I would suggest don't miss the Irish whiskey tasting delivered to your door, and then a virtual tour of the distillery in Ireland, amongst a number of things. So thank you, Carolyn. That's all I needed to say.
You're welcome. And I apologize, Pat, for not including that.
Don't worry. Presidents of clubs have quite a few things to do, I understand.
Yes, you might know something about that. Well, it is 12:30. So, Alan.
And if everybody could please mute yourselves, we'd appreciate it.
So everybody, welcome to another meeting of the Rotary Club of Livermore. It is nice to see you all. We'll wait to get back. If you go back a couple, there we go. So Tammy, I'd like to invite you to lead us in the pledge. So if everybody would mute themselves, and Tammy, unmute yourself.
It would be my honor. Thank you, President Carolyn. If you can all join me in saying the pledge to our beautiful flag for our phenomenal country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Amen.
Thank you, Tammy. And so today, do we have Michael? Are you going to give us an introduction to our song?
It's just going to be Stu by himself. And
okay.
Drop off.
There, I just unmuted. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we
Okay.
can. So a live stew today, huh?
Yeah, Michael's on vacation and we couldn't get a video done, so I'm going to do the times they are changing.
Okay, so I'm going to ask everybody, put yourselves on mute, and then I suggest you use speaker view so that you can see primarily Stu. Thank you, Stu.
Okay. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. Come writers and critics who prophesy with your pens, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that it's naming. For the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changing. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he who gets hurt will be he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing. The line is drawn, the curse is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The odor is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are a-changing.
Thank you very much, Stu. It was nice to have a live performance today for a change, rather than the talent of Senior and Michael's talent for our video recordings. So Pat McMiniman, I invite you to share your thought for the day.
Thank you, President Carolyn. I'm going to read several quotes here. The first is from Mark Twain. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. This one is from Audrey Hepburn. As you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself and the other for helping others. And from Mahatma Gandhi, born in October 1869, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So that's my thought for today.
Thank you very much, Pat. And I think those thoughts definitely follow the theme that Rotary opens opportunities and Rotarians are people of action and service above self. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so our meeting front line, Jeff is our Zoom host extraordinaire. Today, Christina Marion is once again our SPUR reporter. Alan has done a fabulous job once again putting together all our AVs for our meeting. Don Wentz will be our SPUR publisher again this week. And then did we have a mystery greeter that was helping out Alan and Jeff today?
I think that was supposed to be me. Sorry.
All right, so Sheila. And then David, as always, is monitoring our chat. So what I'd like to is a time to welcome our visiting Rotarian and guests. And I know that we have a few visiting Rotarians, but I'll just, first of all, we'll hear later from our district governor. But if Greg, if you would like to say a quick hello.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to your club. I'm from the Rotary Club of Gilroy, so thanks for letting me be here.
All right, welcome, Greg. And then I think Art, you were here as well.
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, I am here, and I'm from San Juan Bautista Club and Gregg's Lieutenant Governor. Happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome, Art. And Jill.
Hi, I'm Jill Durig from the Livermore Valley Club. That's our morning club. And I'm also the Assistant Governor for Area 4.
Welcome, Jill. And then were there any other visiting Rotarians? I think we have a couple guests. So Daniel, you're one of our guests again, if you'd like to say hello.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be back here and looking forward to being a Rotarian soon. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Daniel, for joining us once again. And we look forward to you joining our ranks. And then I did see Dale. Did we have Dale who was a guest today? Or if Gail, somebody's guest, if they would like to introduce Dale?
Mine.
Okay, Keith.
I'd like to introduce Dale Chorney. He is a close personal friend of the family. Dale's a former sales manager and he now is a fabulous woodworker. So Dale, I'm going to have you say a few words about yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the invite, Keith. Just a little bit of history. I was fortunate to attend a luncheon meeting of this club last spring, and then unfortunately we went into immediate lockdown. So I hope I don't have any effects after this meeting. So look forward to meeting you all in person someday.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome, Dale, and thank you for being here with us. Any other guests that I missed? Okay, so as all of our club members know, I finished one of my pandemic goals was to cover all of the streets on foot in the city limits of Livermore, so all 499 miles. And so weekly I share a picture from those adventures. And this is a picture that should be familiar to all of you, the Duarte Garage. Let's see who can quickly put in the chat where that's located if you know. And if once, I don't know that it's back open, but if you ever have a chance to go visit there and see a little bit of history about autos and, you know, just our significance with having kind of a highway running through our city. So look for that when you're out and about. And so one of the things that we've done more during our kind of Zoom meetings is being able to hear from our members, whether they're new members or very experienced members. So right now, I'd like to invite Debbie Peck to give her a member talk.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Well, first I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in San Gabriel. I was the second born of 6 kids. All 6 of us were born within 6 years. So we're very close to each other, and most of them, all but one, lives here in Northern California. My sister lives in Colorado. But I have 2 daughters and 5 grandkids, 3 of which are in college. So my grandkids are pretty much grown as well, except I have a 9-year-old grandson, and he lives here in Pleasanton, or in Livermore. So anyway, my mom and dad bought Travel Bug in 1979 as I was going through a divorce to give me a business and to give them the opportunity to travel. And they did that. They traveled a lot. And so I have owned Travel Bug for 40 years. I actually sold it this last November. I wanted to retire. So I sold it to a woman that had been working for me for 8 years. She and her husband bought it. Ivy and Alden Fott, which some of you know, and they also own Simply Fondue in town. So sadly, after, it was good for me that I sold my business, but for them, because of COVID, it's been really, really rough. Both businesses have struggled a lot, but hopefully they'll come back and things will get good. Anyway, I'm now retired. I was hoping to do some traveling this year, but I haven't done any because of COVID. So there's always next year. I plan to do that. So as for my Rotary life, I joined Rotary in 1996, and I was fortunate enough to have two sponsors, John Gordon, and hopefully you will all remember Bill Geyer. They're both great people. I had known them for years, and they had been trying to get me into Rotary for a while, but I thought Rotary was like a good old boys club. So I was intimidated and didn't want to really be part of that. But I did join, obviously, and I think I was the 6th or 7th woman to be in the club, and I did love it. I was on the board of directors during Susan Gallinger's presidency, so that was a fun opportunity to be part of the in crowd. And I also worked and I actually chaired several things that don't exist anymore, like the Auction de Elegance, the wine train. We did several years of those. They were so much fun. I really missed the wine train especially. And the crab feed, and this is going to be our first year of not having a crab feed, this coming up year anyway. I also worked on the rodeo parade, senior dinner dances, senior work days. I love being part of Rotary. Rotary gave me the opportunity to meet a lot of people, be part of something that is really good and helping other people in the community and the kids and stuff. It's an opportunity to be of service to so many things, and you will meet so many people that you would not meet in any other way and get to know them and develop some real friendships. So that's been my story with Rotary. Also, I would like to do a little shameless plug for my daughter. My oldest daughter lost her job because of COVID. She worked in commercial furniture. She's looking for work. She worked for 5 years doing account managing and project managing. So if anybody has anything, please let me know. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Debbie. And I think you really exemplify what it means to be a person of action and jump in at the club and serving so many ways. So we're very grateful and fortunate to have you as a longstanding member of our club. So as we know, we have a history of sharing good news, and I'm going to read directly from an email from our dear Rotarian, Bruce Shore, who, as I've shared, is not joining us on Zoom because he has abdominal cancer, but he sent me this email. One of the popular traditions of Rotary clubs everywhere has been the fine. This gives a Rotarian the opportunity to brag about a new automobile, a new baby, a trip to Hawaii, a good golf score. Sometimes something new in their lives, which they are particularly pleased with. They submit their name to the president to make a public announcement of this, along with the payment of a fine of any amount they wish, ranging from upwards to $1,000. My last braggable activity has now been completed, and I would like to pay a small fine in honor of this. The event is the publication by Oxford University Press of my latest and last technical book titled Our Changing Views of Photons. This is not a book that will be read with understanding by any of my family members, nor will it be read by anyone I know in Livermore. It is not that kind of book. Nevertheless, I expect that professors and graduate students will find this of interest. It is what I produced. Below you will, and then you'll see a picture of Bruce and his book. And so he would like to pay a fine of $50, and that is going to our lunch fund. So thank you very much, Bruce, for sharing that with us and for being so generous to the club. And Kathy Coyle, you also have something that you would like to brag about.
Yes, I do, Carolyn, and it's a member of my family that I'm going to mention here. I'm sure many of you are aware of the David and Lucille Packard Foundation. They fund a lot of things throughout the world and the country. And one of the things that I am aware of is that they provide award 20 fellowships a year for innovation in science and engineering. And I'm so excited to tell you that our son Scott is the recipient of one of those fellowships. And he's really excited about it. The fellowship is for 5 years. He is an assistant professor at the University of Wisconsin in biochemistry. And I'm just very, very excited for him. And as you know, people in academia are always looking for grants, and this is going to go a long way for him to help him. So thank you. And I would like to support our STEM scholarship that is, we store the money at the Rotarian Foundation of Livermore, and I'm going to make a contribution of $500. So that's it.
All right. Well, congratulations to Scott Coyle and to the rightly proud parents, Pat and Kathy Coyle, and thank you for your generous contribution to the STEM fund, Kathy. So just before I move on, is there anybody else who has a really quick thing they need to brag about? All right. Let me know, as Bruce said, in the future if you'd like to do that. So Sonia, I'd like to invite you to do one of our traditions and our promotion from red badge to blue badge.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
You were a greeter a couple of times to keep protection awareness training online. We started to talk about you, working to make you red badge blue. Joined a committee cause it's required. Went to a board meeting and got inspired. Met lots of great folks, it's true, working to make your red badge blue. Did all your requirements, the time just flew. Now all that's left is to hope that you have passed your test and are deemed worthy to make your red badge blue. The time has come, oh yeah, you've done your best. You've earned your pin, your hat, and your vest. And best of all, it's true. You've made your red badge, you've made your red badge, you've made your red badge blue.
Okay, so I would like to welcome Christina Marion as our latest Blue Badge member. Christina, you are about to become the newest member of the Rotary Club of Livermore. The Rotarian who proposed you for membership paid you a great compliment. They saw in you those characteristics which would make a fine Rotarian. You have been chosen for membership because we are confident that the image and ideals of Rotary are safe in your keeping. So it is with great pleasure that I and the Rotary Club of Livermore welcome you as a fellow member. Congratulations.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, welcome.
Welcome again, Christina, and we see you in action all the time, and you're in action today as our Spur reporter. So we know that you'll continue doing that, and we are so grateful that you joined our club. And so now we are able to do a recognition for support of the Rotary Foundation. So I would like to invite District Governor Gregg Giusiana, if I did that correctly, I've been avoiding saying your last name, Gregg, to do the recognition. Gregg.
Thank you, everyone. So I'm here proud to recognize Jeff Youngsma, who is getting his Paul Harris Fellowship +1. He's a relatively new member of your club, as you all know. He received several months ago, he got his first Paul Harris recognition, and today we're recognizing him for his Fellowship +1 pin. And we thank him for helping the club get off to a great start in TRF this year. Your donations to this help Rotary Foundation meet its humanitarian and peacekeeping, peace-building goals around the world. So thank you, Jeff, for your generous support of the Rotary Foundation, and congratulations on this award.
Thank you very much, Gregg, and thank you again, Jeff. And then just so that you know, Gregg, Jeff is one of our members that Kathy Coyle mentioned that is currently going through the Leadership Academy. So I think Jeff has jumped in with both feet, as we like to say in Rotary. So, and now I'd like to invite our treasurer, who really keeps us in great track, just to give a little bit more details as a follow-up to the club assembly, just to talk about our club's cash flow. Glenn.
Thank you very much. I have been very busily printing money in the back of the office. As you can see here, I did make a slight screw up on the portrait. Alan, could you advance by one? So I want to thank Mike Thompson for asking a great question a couple of weeks ago about what seems like kind of almost an overabundance of cash in our club checking account. And I'll try to walk you through that about what the actual cash flow looks like at rough granularity, so as not to bore you all. But so you might recall this view graph from, it was during the club assembly that Carolyn used this view graph. And it's keeping track of our main primary checking account balances over the past 24 months, which is, of course, grafted onto the fine work that Irv had been doing for years as well. So what you see here is a month-by-month accounting in dollars of the total amount that we have in our unrestricted checking accounts. The red line is the required $25,000 minimum reserve, which is required by our financial policies. This reserve amount, others also asked about, and I think that Lynn Sepula gave a great response to that this is well within the norms for nonprofits and charities to reserve. So 25K is right in line, maybe a little bit conservative, it might be a little bit liberal, but it's the value that we feel quite comfortable with, and we can go into more detail separately offline if anybody has more interest in that. I want to point out, so look at where we are. We're at 80-something thousand dollars, just 80 or $80,000, and that is a high point over the past 2 years, and we're very happy about that. But now I want to kind of unpeel the onion for you briefly, and let me start by just saying that $80,000 includes, see the red note at the bottom, it includes about $15,500 of what I refer to as pass-through funds. This was a donation made by Engineers Without Borders and Pat Coyle for the purchase of global grant monies. There's great amount of leveraging. It's about a 60% leveraging factor. And so we're sitting on that money, we're holding that money, but it's restricted for future use to global grant. So that's part of the reason that our balance looks so high. And then Alan, if you could advance to the next slide. So let's just go step through briefly the projected income, expenses, and the resulting balances for this fiscal year, 2020, 2021. So let's start in green. I like to show income in green. As you know, the cash balance on July 1st was $59,700. That was at the beginning of Carolyn's year. So the major sources of income, about $40,000 in membership dues, and we've booked most of that. Unrestricted donations, so far this year, we're at about $4,800. Major sponsors, plus the Interact auction that we all have, we have budgeted, this is not money received, but we budgeted that for $6,000. So that's the income. I'll also remind you, as you all know, that we're not going to be doing the crab feed this year. Last year, we netted, not gross, netted $32,000 of income from that crab feed. This year, we're not going to have that. And you all know that that's a challenge that we're addressing. So now let's go through expenses. We pay dues to Rotary International and District 5170, about $17,500. We have about $25,000 in general administrative operations costs, merchant fees on credit card purchases, information technology stuff that we do, accounting, storage unit, training and conferences, et cetera. So that's about $25K. Now let's look at our service expenses, how we influence our community through our service donations. In our budget, which is approved by the board and which is calibrated based on the kind of expenses and donations we made over past years. So we're not, pulling it out of thin air each year. It's based on the past. Community service, and this includes our club grants that Marianne Rosa and her team do such a fine job on, about $19,000. International service, $1,800. We do a lot of work in youth services, the READY program, music scholarships, the Interact auction, and so on. That's about $11,000. Some of these expenses we've already incurred. Many of them are projected, and we fully expect to pay them. Then vocational services, we have scholarships that we have been supporting in partnership with the Bedrosian Foundation. RAVE, we've already spent $1,000 this year to support that. And then we have restricted funds that are held by the club, which I already talked to. That's $15,000 for the global grant. So when you take the balance that we had on July 1st, you add these incomes and you subtract these expenses, we're down to $16,800. Everybody sees that, I hope. So I have 3 points, which you're probably all been sitting there reading and ignoring me going through the numbers, but I'll make them anyway. Without our annual crab feed or some substantial new source of income, a sugar daddy or sugar mama, our cash balance will fall below $25,000, as you can see right here at the bottom. So in addition, as we've heard many times, and as you all see, there are all kinds of additional opportunities, urgent opportunities that we have to really make an impact in our community. And so speaking about this with the board, depending on how much fundraising we can do, maybe that's in the $40,000 to even $80,000 if we can get some good fundraising and we see some really huge opportunities, and we have no shortage of those. So I know this hope to address the original question that Mike Thompson had, but the conclusion I'd like to pivot a little bit. As you can see, the conclusion is that your lunch money donations are crucial for our continuing community impact and our financial health. So won't you please, many of you have already done so, won't you please consider donating what you can in lieu of the savings of lunch money that you've been experiencing because of our lack of in-person lunch meetings. So that's all I had. I'd be happy to try to answer any questions that anybody might have. So thank you for your attention.
All right, thank you very much, Glenn. We don't have time to go into a lot of Q&A, but send them directly to Glenn. He'll answer those for you. And right now we have about $8,000 in our lunch money fund. And then I know we have some pledges made to that as well. So we're on our way, but as Glenn said, we still have more work to do there. So thank you very much for that. Just really quick to let you know, one of the advantages of Zoom is to be able to pop into activities of other clubs. So Rotary Club of Oakland, which is Oakland 3, because it's the third Rotary Club in the country, is hosting a business expo next Thursday. It's free to attend. And as kind of Debbie shared with us, Rotarians want to do business with fellow Rotarians. So you are all invited to join that. You must RSVP by the 31st to attend. And there is the link for that. So next week, we will hear from Carol Rosenstein of Music Men's Minds. And we're actually going to bend your mind at the same time because we're going to flip our agenda, and Carol is going to speak first, and then we're going to have our regular meeting follow after that. So don't be late next week, and hold your seats. We will get through this. We're going to have our speaker first. All right. So now I'd like to invite Assistant Governor Jill Gregg to introduce our district governor. Jill.
Thank you, Carolyn. You know, it's my honor to spend time with Gregg. He's just such a great guy, but I'll tell you a little bit more that you probably want to hear about. Gregg has been a Rotarian for over 20 years. He's served the district twice as assistant governor and also as lieutenant governor. He's been and still is a member of several district committees. He's past recipient of the Richard D. King Award and the Sidney R. Mitchell Award. He's a longtime resident of Gilroy. Among his many community activities, Gregg is a past president of the Garlic Festival, a past chair of the Chamber of Commerce, and he was also selected as Gilroy's Man of the Year in 2015. Gregg worked for the Gilroy Police Department for 34 years, the last 10 of which was as its chief of police. So it explains how Gregg can manage all the crises that we've been dealing with this year with aplomb. Gregg is currently the vice president of the Academy Services at South Bay Regional Public Safety Training in San Jose. So he isn't sitting on his hands since he's retired. Between Rotary and being vice president of Academy Services, he's got a pretty full plate. He's got a master's public administration from San Jose State University. He and his wife, Chris, who is incidentally a Morgan Hill Rotarian, have 3 grown children and 3 grandchildren. He joined Rotary as a career move, but like many of us, stayed for the fun. Gregg's theme for this year is make membership meaningful, and I think he sets a great example for us all on how to do that. So without further ado, Gregg Giusiana.
Thank you so much, Jill, for that introduction, even though I wrote most of it. Really want to start off by shouting out to Christina. Welcome to the Rotary's newest Blue Badger. Thank you for that, and congratulations, and thank you for being a Rotarian, Christina. I'm really honored to be here. And let's see, are we going to put up my slides? Art is supposed to put up my slides. I'll keep going. We'll get to the slides, I hope. I'm really honored to be here. This club has been for almost 75 years now. You've been supporting the city and community of Livermore, and you've also been supporting Rotary. We thank you for that. You have a long history of doing great work for a lot of people, and I must say that I was very impressed with your board meeting that I attended before this. Your club seems to be very well run and very active. I know that I'm not a member, but so your members may not feel that way, but I do. This is a really historic year to be a member of the Rotary International. For the first time in our 115 years, Jennifer Jones has been selected to be the first woman president of Rotary International. I shout this out all the time because I think it's a huge milestone that we have achieved. She's a truly remarkable person. I've met her and worked with her. I'm sure she won't remember me, but I remember her. She's really dedicated to Rotary and dedicated to the doing a good job. And I know she's going to be an excellent president for us in 2023, 22-23. Next, also historic this year, 6 continents have now become polio free, leaving us only two countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan, where we're still having to fight the wild polio virus. And work is continuing there, and we are going to beat this. I was hoping we would beat it already, but we're close, and we need to keep up this activity to get it there. But we need to tell the world that Rotary started all of this. And that when we become polio free, it's because Rotary cared and started down the path of getting this done. Next. I start each presentation that I do with the vision statement for Rotary. Not everyone is aware of what the vision statement of Rotary is. I think it's incredible that they put this together for us. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our community, and in ourselves. This is 24 very powerful words. It really says what Rotaries does. Everything that we do in Rotary, if you apply this to it, you know that you're heading in the right direction. And we're making the world a better place for us and for our future. So you don't have to memorize it or anything, but you ought to keep in mind what the thought of this is. Next. So I'm really honored to be your governor. I'm proud of all the work that this district is doing. It does work around the world. We've done about $1 million in grants outstanding, international grants outstanding just from this district alone. Currently, we do also, in addition to that, we do a lot of work in our communities. It's been an incredible journey, becoming the district governor 5170. Since I was selected in 2017, I've been receiving a lot of help and mentorship and support from all the past district governors and a lot of district leaders throughout the district that have gotten me ready to become the governor. Chris and I have attended several RI conventions and training sessions. We've met and become friends with an incredible group of people. I have to say that if you have not been to an international convention, you ought to go. It's really enthusiastic. You meet people that are really dedicated to Rotary and service. They're all wonderful people that I met, and you really find out what Rotary is really about by going there. So I highly recommend it. Next. One of the people I got to meet and work with is our president, Holger Knock. Holger and his wife, Giusiana, are great, down-to-earth people. They have a great sense of humor. They are really dedicated to Rotary. One of his big themes this year was to make sure that we grow Rotary. And by that, he didn't just say we want to make Rotary bigger by having more members. He wants to make sure that if we bring in members, they are put in the clubs that they want to be part of, that there's a good fit between the membership and the club, because all the clubs have their own personalities. But more importantly, what he really wants to do is grow Rotary's impact in the world. Rotary is doing a lot of things. Polio is the big one, but we do an awful lot of work around the world. And we want to make sure that Rotary continues to do that and expands that role of impacting things throughout the world. He's also a big pusher for Rotaract. He's pushing to get Rotaract becoming part of Rotary. That's going to happen in 2 years. And he's also a big advocate for youth in Rotary. One of the things that he did is he's working his way up to become the president, is he was the youth exchange chair for all of Germany. And we know that there's a lot of youth exchange in and out of Germany, and he chaired all of that. So, and he really believes in having youth involved in Rotary. He wants lifetime Rotarians to start when they're young. Next. So this is an unusual year to say the least. The RI theme this year, Rotary opens opportunities, and we've really had a lot of Rotary opportunities since the COVID hit. We have opportunities to learn new technology, rethink our fundraising, and how we do community events and service. And I'm sure there's a lot more things that we're going to have as challenges in the future before we get through all of this. Your president will tell you that I have a professing flexibility in the clubs at every training since we started meeting. This was even before COVID hit. We must really be even more adaptable now and into the future if our clubs are to remain healthy. We have to adapt to what's going on and use it into the future. Next. So I suspect Zoom meetings are going to be the norm for quite a while. Some of the clubs are doing fellowship as part of their meetings. I know that you do that before your meeting, which is great. It's a great way to get people to do that. Some clubs do it during the meeting. They break out into small groups for just a few minutes, just so that people can talk to each other directly, get everybody know each other, and get to know each other and know what's going on in their lives. Fellowship is really critical to me as far as I'm concerned. The reason everybody stays in Rotary, doesn't matter why you join, but you stay because of the fellowship. And it's really important that in this virtual world, we continue having those fellowships. Some clubs are doing social events in the evenings, social wine tastings or beer tastings or bingo or a lot of other things. Some clubs are really taking advantage of this opportunity, like you are, getting speakers that you would never be able to get in person, speakers from around the world. I even attended a meeting where one of the clubs did a joint meeting with a club in Australia. I mean, they really got to exchange information and culture, and it was a really great meeting to attend. To help with this, the district has set up a speakers bureau on the district website. So we're asking you, I know that you've had some pretty good speakers over the last month or so, the last couple of months. So if they're willing to speak at other clubs, go share that information on the Speakers Bureau. Also, you can go there if you need ideas of speakers for your meetings, because we're trying to build a list, especially the Zooms. Virtual meetings may not be ideal, but being creative, clubs are using them to their advantage. And I know that you're doing that here. Next. So during pets and pre-pets, I asked all the president to work on finding ways to support the club members. We wanted to make sure that we make membership meaningful. Being meaningful, having membership be meaningful for the members of the club is the only way to keep the club healthy and vibrant. To do this, engage your club members, make sure that everybody's involved in some activities. And on your committees, give new members a mentor or someone that they can talk to about what the club culture is and what Rotary is about, and listen to their ideas. They all joined your club for a reason. Listen to what their ideas are. They may have something that the club may be able to take up, something new. Clubs are what make Rotary a great organization, and it's the members that make the club successful. So we have to make sure that we take care of our members. This is especially true now since we're not meeting in person. Next. There are 6 areas of focus that we've been using for international grants. I know that your club is involved in a lot of international grants, and I thank you for that. The newest area of focus that we've added, that Rotary has added, is the environment. So starting next July, international projects with a focus on the environment will be able to be funded through the grant programs. I think this is a great move by Rotary. These are grants that will help protect our world and keep our world safe, so that we have it sticking around for our children and our grandchildren to enjoy. And the focus of it will be on the environment. So it's just another way of Rotary making an impact in the world. Your club has been a terrific supporter of the Rotary Foundation in the past, and I want to thank you for that, of course. But I also want to make sure that this doesn't lessen. Now more than ever, the world needs Rotary, and the Rotary Foundation has been spending a lot of money doing COVID grants, and we want to make sure that you pledge to donate and support the foundation and Polio Plus, so we can keep that fund viable. If you're interested, the foundation committee is available to do a program for you. If you would like to have that happen, District Governor Orrin Mahoney is the TRF chair for us this year. So you can reach out to him. He does a really good job. I know that you have a couple people in here that are real pushers, so you may not need him. Next, another goal that I had this year was that we need to make sure that the club's presence are displayed to the world. We must get the word out about the club activities. You're doing incredible work, even under the COVID restrictions. You're still doing community project things, and we want to let the world know what we're doing. We oftentimes do wonderful work. We don't talk about it enough. So the world needs to know what our efforts are. I truly believe that if we get the word out about what Rotary does, everybody would want to be a Rotarian, because the work we do is that important and that critical. And so to help you, the district has a public relations team that's available. If you need assistance with the website, with Facebook, with press releases, with getting words out, with those sorts of things, they're there to assist you. Maggie Padavani from the Cupertino Club is the chair of that, and she and her team would be glad to help you if you reach out. Next. Okay. I put this here because there's some things coming up and I want to talk about a little bit. The district is here, truly. The district's function is to support and inspire the clubs. We don't want to take away from the clubs. We don't want to do anything that interferes with the clubs. We believe everything happens at the club level, but we do want to support you. And so to do that, we have some things signed that we developed to train, inform, and help with fellowship. The first one is we started doing what we call Zoom to Learn this year. And so we're doing a Zoom meeting once a month to get some training about what goes on in Rotary, things that are not the normal ones that we get, membership and that sort of stuff, but things that are important to clubs. And this is a good way to do it. So this month is tonight actually, but you can still sign up for it and talk about risk management and Zooming and insurance issues. In November is the Zone Institute. You can still sign up for that through the website. The district has developed a book club, and their next meeting is November the 16th. And there's information again about that on the website if you're interested in that. It's just a way to get together. We're doing it differently. We're not just picking books. We're picking books that have been written by Rotary District 5170 members. So that's what we're doing, and that's the theme of it. On December 5th, we're doing another Zoom Zoom to Learn. This time is going to be focused on leadership. John Lipp, who is an excellent speaker and nonprofit leader, will be the speaker for that. Then in December the 9th of this year, we actually are going to have Holger Knock-Arai, president, is going to speak to the district. The Rotary Club of Cupertino reached out, and he is going to do a Zoom meeting. There will be more information on how to sign up for that. But if you're interested, it's actually at 9 o'clock in the morning, which may be interfering with work and those sorts of things. But if you can attend, sign up. He's a great person, and he wants to answer questions as part of what he does. And in March, we're doing our pets. It's going to be virtual this year instead of in person. Next. We're trying to do things in person if we can. Free pets right now is scheduled for January 23rd. Assuming that we are able to meet in person, we will do that for your presidents-elect. We're also planning on doing the training assembly in April, maybe over several days. We're not sure how we're going to put that together, but we want to do as much of that in person as possible. The big one is May the 15th. We're having our district conference at the Gregg Gardens. I had selected the Gregg Gardens before the COVID hit. It's all an open air area. It's a beautiful location, and it has some wonderful visions and sights there. And then we wanted it there for fun, but because it's out in the open, it's probably one of the few places where we have a possibility of being able to do it in person. They are expecting to open in May, and we hope that will go. So put it on your calendar. Also in May, we're going to be doing a membership seminar. In the past, we used to do that during August. We're trying to do it early so that people can get started on their membership programs for next year, and the Type A convention in June. So that's what we got planned for us. I know that's a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of commercial, but I want to end with a little story. I believe that Rotary stories are what makes Rotary so important to the world. We never know when we start something new what it's going to do and where it's going to lead. And so here's my story. This is about Malcolm. Malcolm was a Rotarian. He had leukemia and needed a bone marrow transplant, but the doctors were having trouble finding him a donor match. So one of our members thought there must be something more the club could do. So we asked the community for help. Let's get everyone we know and everyone they know tested to see if we could find a match. Well, as hard as we tried, we didn't find a match for Malcolm. Fortunately, one was found. And now over 20 years later, he's still an active member of my club. But that's not the end of the story. It's really just the beginning. Since then, doing a donor drive has become an annual event in Gregg. The Red Cross says it's one of the most successful drives in the country. Because of our efforts, thousands of people have been added to the donor list. And because of those people being on the list, there's a lot of people around the world who are hoping for a miracle and were able to find a donor match. Think about all the lives that have changed since we started. One of those lives was mine. because I happen to be the first person from this community project to become a donor. Imagine being able to give someone a new life. It was an incredible experience, and it really changed my life forever. If it weren't for Rotary, this wouldn't have happened. Rotary does incredible work around the world, and wherever Rotary exists, lives get better. We just wanted to help a fellow Rotarian. We ended up making a lasting change across the globe, in our community, and in ourselves. That's what people of action do. That's what Rotary does. So to finish, I want to thank you for being Rotarians and for all that you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gregg. Very inspiring. Your Rotary story is extremely inspiring as well. And I'd like to now open it up to questions from club members. And then remind you before everybody ends, don't be late. Our program will be at the top of the meeting. But if there's anybody that has a question for Gregg, if you can, if you want to either put it in the chat or use the participants and raise your hand there. I'm trying to look on the screen to see if anybody has a question for Gregg. So I am not seeing anybody's hand raised, or am I missing that? Oh, Alan. Yes, Alan. Alan, you're on mute. Alan, you're still on mute.
There it is. Okay, I did have a question for him. You said the RI governor will be giving a talk or a meeting coming up in December. I would hope you would be able to record that and make it available to all the clubs in the district. I think that could be quite an important thing.
Yes, yeah, that's a good comment, and thank you for that suggestion. We have been, since going to Zoom, all of our training and all of those sorts of things have been recorded, and they're all available on the website. So that will be one of them. And but thank you. That's a good comment. I agree with you.
And then I would kind of to piggyback on that, that there is the district website. It's very easy to access all of the training websites and the speakers. You can just go to our website, and at the top, there's a direct link to the district website. So all of those activities that Gregg mentioned and the things that are coming up and the zone training, if you could talk about a little bit more, this is really the first time that it's open to all members, correct, Gregg?
Yes, the Zone Institute used to be by invitation only. It's opened up to everyone now that wants to attend. I'm not sure what their limit is, but I have not heard that they've hit the limit. So I'm guessing that we're still able to sign up. It's terrific. The travel guy from PBS sells, I can't remember his name, but it'll come to me. He's going to be one of the keynote speakers there. They have other good keynote speakers. It's really inspiring training. It's really, and it's not all just Rotary stuff. It's about the world, and there's a good training for Rotary. So it's well worth your time. It's a $50 entry fee, which is nothing compared to having to travel somewhere to be there. And so this is a great opportunity to do it, and we hope that you will attend.
And then there's information on the district website also about the international convention, correct, Gregg? As I've shared this year, I didn't have the opportunity to go to Hawaii in June, so it was a virtual convention for me, but hopefully by next June, there will be an opportunity for people to travel to Taipei.
Yes, and we also, the district is trying to put together a pre-convention trip so that people can tour the Taiwan, the island a little bit, learn some things. It's actually going to visit a Rotary project that was done on the island as part of that trip. So the Cupertino Club is working on that for us. There's also a way to do. So if you're going to go, you're going to spend a day on the airplane, maybe they'll get there a little early and spend a few days seeing what the island's all about. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Right. And then you said that membership is one of your goals and keeping members engaged. And also at the district level, it's to also engage younger Rotarians. And I would say we have Christina would fall in that category, our new member today, and Daniel, who's interested. So if they want to get engaged and there's outreach, is there anybody specific that we should direct them to at the district, Gregg?
Engaged in district activities? I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
Yeah, either district activities or was there kind of plans for networking just for younger Rotarians together? Or maybe Jill, you can comment on that as well.
We don't really have anything specifically planned right now in that regard, but certainly attending there's a lot of Rotary events that are here. Getting involved in that will get them to become involved in the district and what the district does, and kind of learn from Rotarians what Rotary is about. So I would encourage them to do that because it's a great training experience. And I know that your club's got people involved in the Leadership Institute, which is a terrific program, and that's another way to do it. And really, those are almost all of them are younger Rotarians that are doing that because they want to learn about Rotary. So that's a great way to support them. Jill?
You know, the other thing I'd suggest is it's really easy with Zoom to visit other clubs and see what they're doing. It's a lot of fun to do that and get ideas. Everybody has a lot of great ideas, but the more heads, the more ideas. So I'm finding just attending the other meetings is a great option too.
All right, great. And Alan, you had one other thing to say?
Just to comment on what Jill has just said, visiting other clubs via Zoom sounds like a very good thing to do, but we really don't know when all the other clubs are meeting or what their meetings are all about. So if the district could put out some sort of directory and send it to each of us or to each of the clubs, that might be very helpful in encouraging people to visit other clubs' Zoom meetings.
Yeah, I do know that Kathy can comment that for on our website, we actually have links to other area clubs, correct, Kathy?
Right.
Yes.
Yep, and then you can go on the district website, you can find the links to all of the other clubs, and then find out what they're doing, and most clubs will let you know. Sometimes you have to have the emails ahead of time. And I'll continue to forward that information, but any way that we can just kind of share that information, it would be great.
And there is a directory on the website that you can download that has all the clubs, and it has a little write-up on each and every club. That's the hard copy of it, and there's a soft copy that you can put right on your computer and take a look at, scroll through and see what dates are available and pick one.
All right, thank you very much, Art. So thank you very much, Gregg, for being with us today, for your inspiration, and just reminding us all that we're part of something bigger. We're part of something bigger, just belonging, being members of the Rotary Club of Livermore, but we're an international organization. And I think Glenn just showed the directory right there on his phone.
Well, there's a great app. Sorry to jump in. I'm sorry to photobomb you. There's actually an app for your phone called Rotary Club Locator. I use it whenever I travel. It's really handy, everybody.
All right, so there we go. As we said at the top of the meeting, you learn a lot when you come to a Rotary Club meeting. So thank you, everybody, for being here today, and make sure to tune in on time and early next week, as we're going to bend our minds as we learned about minds when we flip the order of our meeting. Thank you very much, Gregg, for joining us.
Well, thanks, Gregg.
Thanks, Gregg. Appreciate it. It was a good meeting.
Thank you.
Great meeting, Greg.
Alan, love the mashup. That's great. Did not see that one coming.
Greg, I just wanted to compliment you too. I thought the Avenues of Service virtual event was just crackerjack. I thought it was just really first-rate virtual conference experience. So I commend your team for putting that together. I guess Mitty Chang did a lot of it, but that was really came off well.
Yeah, thank you. We worked awful hard on that. You know, we were a little worried about it going into it to see how it would.
Yeah, you know, I stopped in Jill's hand wash room and it was really good. And then the other showcase materials were excellent as well. So thank you.
We really wanted it to be a special thing, and it turned out to be that. So thank you for that feedback. I appreciate that, Patrick.
And then Greg must spend his whole day on Zoom because I know he's doing a meeting right for all of the area, or actually all of the district leadership tonight at 5 o'clock, right, Greg?
Yes, that's right. And then we also the training at 6 o'clock. So.
At 6 o'clock. So, you know, if anybody knows about Zoom fatigue, it might be our district governor, Greg.
Yeah.
I actually got to go to an in-person meeting last night. I visited the after hours club in Gore. They had it at a ranch, a big ranch, and so everybody was able to spread out, and we had a big meeting there. It was wonderful. It was really great to be in person. I miss being able to go to the club. So, but thank you, and your club is wonderful, Carolyn. I think that you are really doing some wonderful work. So thank you for that.
No, you're very welcome. Yes, I'm very fortunate, even in this very kind of tumultuous year, to be in this role with this club and fantastic members.
Yeah, you guys really did a good job of adapting to all these things and just moving on, and I think that's the big part. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Bye-bye.
Just waiting for enough people to sign off before I kill the meeting.
Yep, and thank you, Jeff, for those of us who were coming in later with the board meeting ahead of time. So we finished right at 12:15 and then got in. So thank you very much for navigating.
No worries, I got Alan. He does it all.
Hey, thank you, Alan, for getting everybody in. Thanks, guys.
Just a quick comment.
Signing everybody off.
Oh, yep, Alan, what?
Quick comment to Glenn. Great comeback on seeing that slide.
I have a lot of practice. That was really, I didn't see it coming. That was cool. That was really funny. Okay. See you folks.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care, Glenn. Good to see you.
Bye-bye. Good to see you, Jeff.